What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah? Keep listening.
Hello and welcome into the Friday edition of your show. Still, as far as we know, the only scheduled viewing on YouTube that goes Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. And we're so damn proud to be able to say that because it takes a lot to be able to go live every single day, just like that old scheduled viewing we used to do growing up. Network TV, that's what we're all about right here. We also love making up categories and saying we're number one on YouTube. And for instance, today, we are number one on YouTube in the category of dogs losing it because they're having way too much fun. Margaret's best buddy in the world, Finnegan, showed up today. As you can hear, she wants to go outside and play, but doesn't understand we're about to pay some bills here. Not even pay bills, give homage to the greatest people in the pet store industry. Before we get there, my name is Gary, still your busty host, still trying to lose some weight. And now it's time for the Maggie cam. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be wild, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. So we have an open cam right now. Dragon's on the ones and twos today. He's going to join us up on stage for our roundtable. We're going to see if we can get her over here. Come here, Marge. Come here, girl. Maggie Old Ben Kenobi, please report to the stage. Your employee of the month is slowly disappearing. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Bring the camera to her. There she is. Oh, a little bit up. A little bit up. Let's get that face. Yeah, girl. The Maggie Cam for our incredible friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. When you walk through those magical doors, you'll be greeted by Margaret's boyfriend, Leroy, who will then walk you up to the till. I love the moving Maggie Cam, where you'll meet Mike and or Rochelle, and they will give you that incredible service you've come to know and love from our friends over there. As well, if you go after hours or on the weekends, you'll see Kirsten, Shar, or Chris, and they will continue to give you that incredible service that we know and love from our friends over there at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. And I got to remind you, the cleaning station, second to none. So much fun. Thanks to our friends. A new Adventures with Maggie video coming out very soon. And she models these brand new buckle up collars, they're called. She's wearing one right now. And they're so cool. She went with the Marvel Comics one, and she got a matching leash as well. So that video will be out, and you can see all the amazing options you have when it comes to shopping for your pet over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a wild day here, and it's about to get even more wild because two of our favorite people have joined for the Friday Roundtable. First on the list, we will introduce now, and then the next one will walk out from the Tooth Booth. Shout out to Dr. Hausman Associates, the big tooth on 2nd Ave. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from the Commander Cookout podcast. You know him as one of our favorite people ever. It's Uncle Brando.
It's me.
It's a me, a Brando.
It's a me, Brando. That's kind of fun to say, actually.
It
I
is.
should do that
I
more.
know. I love plumber humor. And from the top show on the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, ladies and gentlemen, one half of the viewing room, he is Le Dragoon.
Hooray!
There he is. Make sure your mic's on, Dragon.
That would have been helpful 2 minutes ago.
You didn't
but it was
triple check,
on.
did you?
No, I did triple check.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Here, you want to send that down to him?
I was about to say, what do I got going on here? This looks...
We are, do you want to, it's non-alcoholic Guinness, is what it is. I figured
mean-
you didn't want anything to do with that.
No, I do. I actually love Guinness, but...
Why does it look like
I
cold
will-
hot chocolate?
Can we-
That's what I was thinking, too. It's kind of like...
Can we crack another one? You
Oh,
want
no. You guys go
one? I
ahead.
think we're going to get you one.
You enjoy. We're doing a show here.
I want to get you one. And now, so, tell us about Finnegan, this sweet angel out there.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? This guy's
Should I
crazy.
let him in?
It could be mayhem. There's going to be a lot of growling and barking, but in a fun, playful way.
Let's leave him out back.
Brando just recorded with the dogs going nuts, and he said, you know, it's a little bit hard to focus when they're banging on the doors. I get it.
Yeah, Finnegan is my 1-year-old puppy who I picked up for my haircut and realized, if I pick him up for my haircut, I don't know if I'll make it here in time, which I did easily make it in time, and I could have just taken him home, and I didn't.
Sounds like Predator's trying to get in.
Should I just let him in? He's whining.
Well, it's
He's
gonna be.
He's been so cold.
And this is what I was saying when he asked, like, is it okay if I bring Finnegan? I said, of course it is. I'd love to.
Yeah.
Just so you know, it's our like busiest day we've ever had in the studio, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, sure.
We got people from one end of Canada to the other visiting here today. We had Rusty Trom Jones in, friend of CCO Nation,
Shout
friend
out.
of
One of my favorite names in the nation.
friend of the Damn Studios now from
100%.
Vancouver, and our buddy Kelly. He's our contact with Face to Face Games on the show and everything.
So cool.
And he came in from. I never know where he lives. Like I don't know if he lives in Montreal or Winnipeg or Toronto, but he's in all of those cities and a half. Winnipeg is only a half of a city.
Of course.
And I don't know the forks, but I know the knife because I was in Winnipeg.
You got jokes.
I gotta get.
got
those
a
in
lot
there
of
while I
them.
can. Yeah, so it's been a busy day here. We've been recording and doing stuff, and we
been
got
so
big
much
events
fun.
coming up this weekend. If
Yeah.
anybody's watching that likes Magic, we're having an event the
Which you
Saturday
should
tune in. Thank you.
Sorry.
We can all go up. It'll be a good time.
Hell yeah, brother.
Can I tell you guys a video game story? I feel like I'm
Yeah.
hijacking the
Here we
show.
go. No, this
But
I'm
No,
ready.
no, no.
I'm
ready.
excited for this. So, last year, a game came out based on, I think his name's Akira Toriyama, the Dragon Ball Z guy. Anyway, he passed away last year, and a game based on one of his other works that wasn't Dragon Ball came out. It's called Sandland. And I read
Interesting.
Sandland like a while ago. It's about it's like one of those kind of desert worlds where there's no water, and you go on an adventure to find water.
Get that water.
And it turns out that the king has he just dammed up all
All
of
the
it.
water.
Just all of it. He just dammed
Classic
up.
king
Like,
move, bro.
What a piece of shit, right?
That's him.
So you gotta get water for everybody. And I'm like, it felt like 3/4 of the way through the game. There's so much stuff that I can't access and I can't do, and like, but I know I'm getting to the end of the story because I bought the manga. It's like a 3-volume manga you can buy, and I read the whole thing. It's like, man, like, this ends with spoiler if you haven't read it. This ends with you giving water back to the people.
As it should be.
And I got to the dam in my little tank, and I blew the dam up, and I gave water back to everybody. Didn't even get a trophy for it. It was
Ooh.
right,
No achievements.
and I haven't continued the story from there. But it's like, man, did they adapt this work pretty faithfully from what I read, and it's really interesting and a lot of fun to play. But like, did they just keep going? You know what I mean?
I do.
It's kind of a neat, instead of playing through a book that everybody knows, right? Everybody knows the story, everybody knows how it ends. Like, that's the prologue, the preamble to like this whole new game that you've never seen before. That's
So-
kind of neat.
So hold on a second. It's like reading a big long instruction booklet, almost,
Sort of, yeah.
leading
like,
you into this magical journey.
yeah, it's like, here's all the characters. Here's
That's
why you
very
give it-
cool.
Here's why you care about them. Here's like you do everything that they do in the story, right? Plus some other video game stuff, and it's really cool. And I thought that was a really novel approach, and you don't see that very often when they adapt movies or
Dude.
books like into games, right?
Think about how many times people try to do something different, and it never lands.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then you always give people credit. At least they're trying something different. This sounds like one of those things where they tried something different and it worked.
yeah. How many times have you seen a shameless cash-in video game on net? Well, LJN on the NES, right? Like,
Oh man, there's lots of videos about LJN.
right?
That's like the death knell for any game. If you see that logo on a Nintendo game, it's garbage.
yeah. Except for WWF Raw, that was so
The one
good.
outlier.
They made some good wrestling games. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. I just thought that was neat. Like, I wanted to bring attention to something where somebody tried something different, and
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like a shameless cash. It's like they actually did the work to give fans of the previous work
I love
something
that.
to sink their teeth into, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
I
I
think
just wanted to bring that in. I don't know.
no, I love the idea of hitting it. Hitting that mark and doing something, taking a chance and having it pay off. Because we never talk about that. It's so rare that you don't get to talk about it.
Entertainment now is so expensive that
Yeah.
nobody wants to take a chance, right? Like,
That's
you,
it.
you got to do a sequel. You got to do it. You would know this better than anything on the viewing
Yeah.
room, right? Like, new movies, I feel like, are really hard to get funding for because nobody wants to take a chance of spending $1 billion and then not having it be profitable for them. They can't all be Godzilla -1, right?
Yeah, it's a tough battle, right? Because there's two lines here where I think movies shouldn't be as high budget as they are right now, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I think if you are having a movie that's $300 million, it needs to have some very good reasons, right? And when you see movies like Marvel movies and stuff that have massive budgets like that, you're like, okay, we're paying for a lot of star power, a lot of effects and stuff like that, and that's maybe a little unnecessary sometimes, right? Like, so I'm in the camp where I think movies should be shorter and cheaper in a way, because then that way we can lower ticket prices and more people go to the movies, right? And I also in the sense of like, hey, by the way, we should kind of stop with some of the sequels, exactly like you're saying. But yeah, it's exactly that too. When the cost to make movies is so high, and the return can be so. Sorry, I'm watching Finnegan roll around the couch. The return can be so risky because, you know, maybe I make a great movie, original movie, for half the cost of a Marvel movie. Perfect. Am I going to sell as many tickets though? And that's the worry, right? Do people want to go see the new A24 film? Right? It's gonna be a weird thing, right? They can kind of guarantee that they have a solid fan base, that Disney can do that with sequels and stuff like that. They're like, okay, enough people liked Moana 1 that when we do Moana 2 and it has a $300 million budget, we're going to make $800 million. So boom, that's fine, perfect, whatever. So I think sequels are easier to account for nowadays because films are so high. So it's lower risk and ultimately higher reward because you have that established audience, right? You have those established characters. You don't have to put much more legwork into the whole thing, right? So.
There's definitely a reason people do it.
Yeah.
That's the take home. Yeah.
Money is why they.
No, that's what that was.
That's Sorry, you don't watch enough CCO.
It's excitement, is what that is.
Yeah,
Because
technically it's called excitement.
Give me excitement.
Yeah.
Money.
Cool.
Give it
That's
to
what
me.
it comes down to.
Sign language is what that is. Sign language.
Hell yeah. I didn't know you were fluent.
I am not. I actually have been quite solid the last couple of weeks.
That's very rare for you.
I know. I had taco time when I got here this morning, and I am very no fluid here.
No, sir. As we continue on the Friday edition of your show, hanging out doing the Friday Roundtable with our good buddies from shows that we love and support around here. This guy from the CCO, that guy from the viewing room, also the BBO on the CCO and the YTC.
Oh, thanks.
Nailed it. If you haven't seen the Brando box opening yet, wow. What are you even doing?
The newest one that just dropped on the
So
Commander
cool.
Kiko YouTube channel, I actually did live at an event in Calgary,
Mhm.
and there was like some dude that was watching, and I was throwing packs and cards everywhere, and he was like doing diving catches to keep the wrappers and stuff off the floor. So
Legit.
I was making a mess. You can't see it in the video, but there was one of the cards I actually did wing it like.
Went
Good
away.
It went
Yeah.
far, and he like ran out to like pick it up.
Those are the ones that you can like cut fruit with, eh?
Yep.
You could do it the right. Was that Gambit? Was Gambit the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except I didn't blow it up with
Yeah.
kinetic energy.
You know, you can only do so much.
Yeah, right. There's only so many powers I have. That is not one of them.
That's definitely for sure. So whenever we get together, we just talk about stuff that's going on in the world, and usually ends up with these two guys anyway: video games and movies. Dragon, you saw a movie last night, buddy. What'd you go see?
I did. I went and saw Wolfman.
Oh,
theater.
that's the one with that girl from the Ozarks.
Yeah. Have you seen
Yeah.
Ozark?
I watched a bunch of it. It's pretty crazy.
I liked Ozark.
Yeah.
I like Jason Bateman. And I
Yeah,
think he's a good
he's the guy.
director. And I think
He's so funny.
He's awesome. Julia Gardner.
That's her name?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. That's me.
Yeah,
asking.
you're telling
sorry.
us.
I believe. Yeah, no, she's in it. She's a good actress.
She's a badass. She's a really good badass.
Yeah. So
If
I
it
don't wanna
sucked, you can say it
spoil-
sucked.
I don't want to spoil it. And this is a movie I really, really wanted to like. Right.
It's a remake of
It's a
everyone saw it
Blumhouse.
in.
It's a Blumhouse movie. So a lot of times, I would say Blumhouses can be hit or miss. A lot of times, you're going into almost like a cheesy horror film. They did the newer Halloween movies. They did the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, right?
This guy loves horror, so it's in the right place here.
So
I'm right
right,
there
you,
with
you
you.
kind of know what to do with,
Oh, yeah.
with Blumhouse, right? And I don't think Blumhouse is bad or anything like that, but you definitely kind of can expect a certain trend.
It's
And
like canon in the 80s. You know what you're getting into.
yeah, and I really wanted to enjoy this movie.
Doesn't sound like it.
There is some great like locations. There's some fantastic like makeup and effects and stuff like that. And spoiler alert, the guy gets turned into a werewolf. If you didn't see the first 3 trailers, like just
That
as a
would,
spoiler-
how awesome would that be if they called it Wolfman and there was
there
no
wasn't a
reference to
werewolf
anyway?
he
in
gets
it?
turned
No
into like a
werewolf.
giraffe, and it's like a comedy,
Like a friendly giraffe?
yeah, yeah, no,
What, you expected me to be a wolf?
No,
Jeez.
it's they did some incredible stuff with that, and they showed like a really awesome transformation. Like one of the stuff they'll do, and this isn't a huge spoiler, he turns into he starts turning into the werewolf, and all of his senses are going crazy, and so he starts hearing this banging on like the roof in the house, right? And
Kind of like this. Oh,
So
my-
he's like freaking out, and so he goes upstairs, and it's like boom, 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 right? And it's like showing how good werewolf hearing is. He opens the closet of the house like to look up, and he sees a spider crawling. And so that's how crazy his senses are. Is
Oh,
that
wow.
it was like he was hearing the spider crawling around, and that's what was making the thumping sound. It was each leg touching the. Yeah, it was really cool. I thought it was awesome.
Man, that'd drive you insane.
Yeah, really crazy. And then they establish how great the hearing is, and then multiple times they're like out in the open just doing shit,
And they
that's
sneak
never-
up on him.
Yeah. That's just nothing happens.
They establish that you can't sneak up on him, and then they immediately sneak up on him.
Yeah. Not sneak up, but like just like sneak around and do stuff like that. And it's like, okay, like
He knows you're there, bro.
Something's happening here. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the parts that there was no dialogue the most, because the dialogue feels like a Hallmark movie, and they have this like 5-year-old daughter, and they explain everything to her in exposition, but like talk to her like she's 30. So at one point she's like, "Mommy, did this guy die?" And the mom just looks her like dead in the eyes and says, "Yeah, sweetie, that guy died." And like is that how you talk to your 5-year-old daughter who just witnessed like a murder? Like
That doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so I don't know if she's 5. She's probably like more like 11 or something. I have no idea. I'm not good with ages, but like it's just
5 or 11,
You know,
whatever.
somewhere there.
5 or 11, there's like
Yeah.
1 or 2 years in between there, but those are the real developmental ones. But like I just I wanted to like it so much, but just all the dialogue was bad, and like I said, I think Julia Gardner is like a good actress, but she just didn't do it for me this time, and I truly believe it was just like the writing, and they worked with the best they had. But yeah, it was a tough one to watch, and my buddy and I were laughing at a few parts. There's like a few, not necessarily like continuity errors or stuff like that, but like big plot holes, and I don't want to spoil it because it just came out last night. Last night was opening night, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But like, if I had to rate it, it would be like a 6 out of 10.
Does the werewolf win at the end?
That's a big spoiler. That's like I can't.
Was the theater
listen.
packed?
No, actually. Well, we went to
Interesting.
Landmark, and
Love Landmark.
and well, we like it was 9:45. Right,
that's
so-
bad, yeah.
So kind of a later showing. There
People are
was
in bed.
about, I want to say, 12 people in the theater, and I think that's pretty good. I think for like a 10 p.m. showing on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be way more packed today, and there's something just so nice about Landmark because the seats are so comfy.
I love
like
those seats.
it's
dude.
like great. Like
We
I
used to
don't
bring
know,
a whole
it's awesome.
picnic in there. We'd have blankets and we'd have like food that we'd sneak in, and then we'd buy some food too, just to make sure we're on the up and up. And you settle in there. I fell asleep in there a couple times. True story. That comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was looking forward to this movie so much. I went to opening night. I was so excited. And it just like if I could edit the film and remove all the dialogue, make it a silent film. Actually, and the audio design is so good too in some parts that like
Tells
I
its
don't-
own story.
it's awesome. They did a really good job turning the guy into like a werewolf, but it's just there's other things. And this is another spoiler, I guess, whatever. There's also a second werewolf.
Oh boy.
Well, that's how you turn into a werewolf. Is one bites you. There has to be another one.
Yeah. So
That's how it
there's a
happens.
second.
Yeah.
There's a second one,
Dracula
and they have a bit of a fight, I guess, as well to say, and it's cool. It looked really cheesy, so it's like it's tough. Again,
It's
it's
like
just,
Marvel CGI shit.
I don't know because I thought it was all practical. It looked all practical,
Okay.
and I don't know. It's so tough. I wanted to love it, and there were some parts that I absolutely loved, and the ending too is so I can't.
Just tell me that the
Oh.
credits started running right after Ooh, Werewolves of London started playing. Tell me that song's
Yeah,
played
yeah,
at least
yeah.
once. Warren
Perfect.
Zevon?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Actually?
Yep.
Wait, did that actually happen?
No.
Well, then I'm not
No.
going to see it.
Yeah. me
Also, they
either.
do this
Yeah.
really dumb thing too at the title. I never complain about end credits because I don't really like. It's not like a huge thing, but they use the weirdest font for the end credits. That like they take a lowercase letter of someone's name and that lowercase letter morphs into a different thing and whatever. And
Mm.
that's okay. It's cool, whatever. but the font is completely skewed, like doesn't fit the format at all. And then once the credits go away, it goes to another title card of like the actual Wolfman, like the poster text. It's completely different text, and I'm just like, guys, like you couldn't just use that text for the credits, like what are we doing?
What are
here?
we doing here?
And beautiful landscape and location, but they didn't use it enough, like in my opinion. Like it just was like, I know it's not the focus, but like,
Do you find, with all of your knowledge and being a student of film and going to film school and doing all this stuff, do you find it adds or takes away from your viewing experience because you're so aware
that's
of all
tough.
those other things?
It's tough. Okay, it's different for everyone. Some people will say yes to things. It enhances mine
Good.
because I like to think about it and dig a little deeper. You know, if you're gonna spend 2.5 hours watching a movie and then turn it off and go to bed, that's perfect, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's like if I'm spending 2.5 hours watching the movie, I want to think about it for at least like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like think about it, maybe write a bit about it, and just like, okay, that was that. But you have to be able to turn that off too, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand that if you're going to a movie, you are analyzing, you're going to be that guy. You have to understand that sometimes when you go to the movie with other people, they don't want to do that. They're going to see Captain America to sit down, enjoy the frickin' movie, have some nice popcorn, and just get away from it for a while. And I think that's perfectly fine. I do that still too, right? You just have to be able to. He just left. He got so bored of me.
You know, Gary's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's our show.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, you don't understand what I mean? Like,
I absolutely do.
you absolutely have to turn it off. Like my dad, for example. My dad and I love watching movies together, but he hates it when I like say, "Oh, there's like a plot hole here," right? He's like, watch the movie, right? And so yeah, you have to understand that there is a time and a place for sure. Those dogs are going crazy.
Oh yeah, these dogs are insane. They're borking. They're going out again. They're leaving. Jeez, I get what you're saying. I actually did the same with wrestling now, that like pro wrestling. Now that I know how things work, and like I can see behind the magic, right? I know who Oz is and who the Wizard is. So I can't really watch it as much on my own anymore because kind of not very good. A lot of the modern stuff isn't really great. So when I watch it with somebody else, I have to consciously be like, yeah, he screwed that up. Brando, he didn't screw it up. It looked fine. Yeah, but he put his foot in the wrong place. Shut up and watch the match, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah,
So
time and place, right?
Yeah, so it can enhance your viewing ability, but it can kind of siphon some of the joy out at times as well.
Tainted.
Yeah.
And we always say there's on our podcast too. There's no right or wrong way to watch a movie, right? And I think it's something I think I struggle with sometimes too. It's like, you know, I really want to watch it and focus on it, but you know, sometimes too, you get so lost in a movie sometimes too, where it's like you need to watch a second time to even absorb some things and miss some plot holes because you're just so into it the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's also a skill of a movie too. Like if you can make someone who's trying to be super critical of your thing be less critical because they forgot they were supposed to be critical because they got so entertained. That's like a little like salute to you, right? And I think yeah, it is. It's not black and white, and it doesn't really. Yeah, you know.
That was a very, very good answer for a very simple question. I like that.
No, I
think
could
that's
see in your
good.
eyes you're about to walk away, so I figured, okay,
No.
I better monologue
Just so
for
everyone's
a bit.
aware. So while we're in here hanging out having fun, the puppies are outside and the gate was open, so I had to go run out there and close the
What?
gate.
Oh,
Well, it was
no.
like, you know how it sits on the top a little bit?
Yeah.
And they were running into the gate, so I was like, oh, so I had to go out there, close the gate. And then I opened the door and they come flying in. You heard them doing their thing. And then they're back out there now, and it's just, they're having so much fun.
Chaos.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
And I wish we could just stop the whole show and just let them play and watch that, have that be the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. This is it. The more animals,
I
the better.
picked Finnegan up from his haircut now.
How many times have I said the more animals we can have in here, the better off everyone is?
Well, when it's not disrupting the show, maybe.
My hope for this was they would be worn out by now.
Oh no.
And they
No,
just don't
no,
stop.
Finnegan's one, and
Yeah,
Maggie just
yeah.
needs a friend every now and again. So.
Maggie's just covered in the Finnegan slobber now. They're just like going all over the place and they're going nuts. So
Good. Well,
I was
this
just making sure nothing was getting too
he
chaotic
gets
up
really hyper after being at the
groomer.
groomer,
Yeah.
like
The zoomies.
for so long. Yeah, exactly. So it is really nice that he came here too to chill out for a bit. Well, or
awesome.
chill out.
Burn off some of that.
Maggie gets so excited.
Yeah.
Like so excited, as you can hear. Like they're trying to bang down the door. I hope I closed it enough. They opened the door on their own before.
They opened the door.
When
They
you guys were going,
burst
they
in-
came in here.
Well,
They opened the
yeah.
door on their own.
Yeah, I
man.
didn't open the door for them. They kicked down the freaking door.
Yeah. They're going wild, man.
He ran into it so hard. Like that's how dumb my dog is. he just is like, you know what? It's not opening when I jump on it 6 times, so I'm just gonna run
Right
into
through
it,
it.
and it
Hell yeah.
worked. I called him dumb, but it worked. So I'm the dumb one.
That's right. Now you're getting. How's Big Earth? Tell us. Give us some Big Earth love.
Well, Big Earth is doing well. I bought her the wrong food.
Oh,
again,
no.
So we're having the regrets. She is fluid now, as we were talking about earlier, which is unfortunate.
Tell us about your wake up this morning.
Oh man. Oh, so my last week has been a little different as my routine has changed. And I'm laying there and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and like, you know, you have the wake up because like something's going on, right? And I'm laying there and I open my eyes and her face is right here. Just right.
I love that.
And I'm like,
such a cute face.
what are you doing? What's the matter with you? And she's like,
And we all know that sound.
she just has to go. It's like we go out. It's 4 o'clock.
Good
in the
for her,
morning.
by the way, and not just plop her on the bed.
Yeah, that's the
That's
truth.
a good girl right there.
And so we handle all that business, and then we come back, and it's like, well, now it's 5. Like, I guess I'm up now. So I sits down on my couch, and my couch has recently blown a spring. Like, it's not sticking up
Oh.
through the thing, but like
You can
one of-
feel it.
Like there's this weird lump, and I'm like, okay, I'll watch some TV, and I'll turn on Blair Witch because that's a movie that always puts me to sleep.
My God, you're crazy.
And
I
then
hate that movie.
and so I turns it on, and just as they start arguing about who has the map,
Oh, no.
I'm drifting off. And as I'm going to sleep, thinking, man, there's no way this spring is going to be really comfortable. And then I wake up at 8, and I feel like Quasimodo, like my head,
Just give you an adjustment.
I'm just like,
yeah.
oh, and I'm walking around the house
What have
all
I
crazy.
done?
Oh, just the worst. But Big Earth is doing very well. She slept very good on her. I got a bed for her in the living room now,
Nice.
so she can lay and look out the window and be all comfortable and stuff.
Hell yeah.
So that's
Good for her.
she's doing well. She's an older lady now.
Yeah, Marge is getting there too. A little slower.
But
But
it's
still letting us know when they're going to poop their pants. Which
That's
we appreciate.
correct. Yes, yeah. She hasn't had any accidents, knock wood.
Yeah.
And my plan is to take this food because it's expensive. Dog food is lots of money.
Not at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer.
There we go. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to give it to Sam's dog, and then I'll just buy some of the right stuff, and then I'll.
The right stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh. You know that song, Dragon? Oh, oh, oh. Do you actually, or are you just saying that?
Wait, yeah, what? Yes to what? Do you know the song, or were you just saying
Yes, I know the song.
Okay.
What song is it?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
I know
sing
the-
it for us.
I know the song.
Name, what album was it on?
I-
Who sings it?
I
Name
think-
their top 4 albums.
I'm just saying yes. I'm agreeing with you. I've heard that song before. So
oh,
yes.
but you're not a real fan, is what you're telling me. That's what I'm
Did
hearing
I
right
say
now.
I was a fan?
I believe the answers we're looking for is New Kids on the Block and The Right Stuff.
I actually don't know the song.
I
so-
think. Hey, if you got
yeah.
pictures,
You name the album.
if
buddy.
you've got pictures of your animals,
Ooh,
send them our way. We would love to see your pets as we sit here and talk about ours, and you can hear ours out there
Bang
causing
on.
a ruckus. Let us know. We
you
love
want to hold
pictures.
Maggie and
You know
I'll hold
what-
Finnegan?
You know what we'll do? Yeah, don't worry.
can't
The
hold
dogs will be too much right now. What we can do is once you send those pictures in to contact@dufferinav.com, we can put them up on the show and say, hey, check out this beautiful puppy or a kitty or a
bring them.
hamster.
Or bring them.
Or bring them in. That's the next step.
Finnegan is too big to play with a hamster.
We also have a website you can get through as well.
Yes, but-
You let us know, and then we will be like, look at these beautiful animals. And we're like, you know, every time I try to figure out what we look at it, like it always comes back whenever we're doing this as the Price is Right models. We're always, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're always presenting it to you. A new car! 27,000! You suck again.
Dun, 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 we're-
That's like the soundtrack to my life.
Yep.
Actually, not lately. Man, life is so good right now. This place. That's what I realized today. Even
Ooh.
with all the chaos, hey, like it's been so chaotic in here, but at the same time, everyone that's come through, we had like 10 or 12 people come through, and it's been so much fun, and everyone's so happy, and everyone's so delighted to see the animals and to feel the warmth of this studio and this family, and it just makes me so happy.
How can they feel the warmth, Gary? You turned the heat off.
We do
And
have a
my-
loud heater.
My little
It is 19 degrees.
heater
in
that
here.
usually blows on me is over there, just
Can I
not
tell you-
doing anything. No,
Can I tell you guys something?
You absolutely can.
Can you stop leaving? That's like 6 times this episode.
It's a live show.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're real here. We don't make edits.
If you've already left, can you get me a glass of water?
Yeah, my feet actually are really cold. Like
Here's the thing. I love 19 degrees. I think like my kids are gonna murder me, but I think like that's probably what I'll set my thermostat to. Like
19 degrees.
oh, I love being a little cold.
Like that's your favorite angle?
Yeah, probably.
if
Yeah.
there was a-
No, 20. I saw it 20. 20 degrees is actually like perfect.
Man.
Like in my house. Like I absolutely love it. And here's the thing. I
Messed up, Dragon.
I leave my door closed in my room, right?
Sure.
Because heat rises, right? And I live in the basement, right? But I have a nice window, and I don't think it's sealed properly because I can feel cold coming through it.
Right.
So I close my door in the morning, and then I go to work, whatever, come back home, open my door. It's like a freezer in my room. It's like insane, right? I love it. I love it. No, don't crack that. Finish mine. Finish mine.
Yours up.
Finish mine.
Finish your
I'm
story.
full. I'm
Finish
full.
your story. You're
Oh.
working.
How are you full?
Okay.
Entertain.
Listen.
Dance puppet. Dance.
Yeah. So he's allowed to leave, and I have to sit here talking. But whatever. Okay. I'm just saying. I love it, and I love going to bed with a little cool breeze on me and being a little chilly. Just being a little bit chilly to the point where I can just go like this, and now I'm warm again. But like my toes are a little cold. I
Make those
love it. It
covers
helps
a
me
little bit
sleep
warmer.
so much. Apparently, it's good for you too. I love it.
My dad was just like that growing up. Like I would go into his room and like he'd have the window like not open, but
Oh.
like open, not
Like
cracked.
chef's kiss, like a
in the
little
wintertime.
breeze.
And I'm like, why, Dad? Why you like this?
It's
You
just so
freak?
good. It's like then you can like, you know what I do too, because I like my feet to be a little cold.
Oh my
I'll
God,
sleep
that's
with a
so
blanket. Just sometimes I just won't sleep with a blanket. I'll have my comforter just like on my shoulders or something, and I'll sit there like just like on a little blanket, like a little piece of blanket over top of me,
wow.
yeah, I know it's crazy, and like just so my toes can feel a little cold, and then I can like wiggle them a bit, like to warm them up.
What kind of pajamas you wear for bed?
It depends. Okay, so some nights. I usually always wear pajamas. Okay, I should say.
You
but
look like a
some nights-
pajama guy.
When I'm going pretty crazy, I'll wear underwear. But like, sorry, I'm always wearing underwear.
Hold on
but
a
like,
second. How
but
do you
like,
go crazy when
the-
you're getting into bed?
The pajamas go over the underwear normally, but some days I'm like no pajamas,
Nice.
and that's
So
usually
then
when
the
I sleep with
underwear
the
goes
comforter.
over the pajamas, and now
Yeah, and then I'm a superhero. No,
I'm Superman.
yeah, no. I just love that
so good. I
cold
can
little
picture it.
breeze. I just love it. It's just something about it. It's just nice.
See,
You know what I mean?
I've recently adopted the super sweet move of wearing a robe to bed, a full-on robe, and it's because I spend all the money on heating the studio. So the ski chalet, we get down to like 18, 19, and it's so cold. I have to wear my robe to bed. So I put my robe into bed, and then Marge huddles in, and then we sort of warm each other up.
Would you like a comforter? I have an.
Oh no,
extra
I have all the things.
one. Okay.
Like it's just this is what works for me. I've tried a bunch of extra blankets, this and that. None of that works. I don't like lots of blankets. So I just wear the robe.
You want to know why I do it too? What I like it so much too?
Of course.
I like it because it feels good, but there's health benefits. You want
Here
me to
we
read
go.
them off? You want me to read them
Learning
off?
the benefits of sleeping in a cool room.
Okay. On average, it's health benefits like better sleep quality and lower risk of disease, right?
Of course.
Better sleep. Cooler temperatures can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. You also spend more time in REM sleep and probably feel more rested as a result.
Yeah, probably because you're dying from hypothermia.
I can't sleep in like a hot room. Like it's like insane. Like when it's summertime and like it's 33 degrees outside and I try and fall asleep.
Ski chalet with
I
no
can't.
air conditioning, 33.
Yeah. That's
Literally
like,
inside.
that's her
It's
cabin, like
insane.
400 square
Yeah,
feet.
it's
That's it's
impossible.
ridiculous.
Can't
And
do
I just toss and turn the whole night. I try and put ice packs on myself, or I just
Well, then you think about the animals. Like poor Marge is in there. Like she just goes outside. She just sleeps outside 'cause it's too
it's
hot.
ridiculous. I've thought about sleeping on the deck sometimes in the summer. Just like, yeah, it's insane. I increase calorie burning. Sleeping in a cooler room can help your body burn more calories during the day. I don't know what the science is
Do
behind
you know
that.
why
but
it's
whatever.
doing that? Because your body has to burn more calories to keep itself warm,
Warm.
so you don't die.
Increase melatonin production. Lower risk of disease. Cooler temperatures can increase insulin sensitivity,
Oh, that's
which
amazing.
helps prevent type 2 diabetes.
Are there any
It
bad
improves,
things?
it improves tissue health, which I believe because that's exactly what a cold plunge is for, right?
You ever put
3 to
beef
5
in the
minutes in a
fridge?
cold plunge. You do a couple days a week, cold plunge 3 to 5 minutes. That's supposed to increase your like muscle growth and like all the tissues and stuff like that after a workout. So that's I believe that.
And you know why that is? Because when they're in the water, they come out and you're twitching because they're trying to warm themselves up, and they're like, "Fuck you! Why are you doing this to me?"
so angry at you.
It's your body trying to not die because
okay.
you're trying to kill it.
Yeah, I'm looking at pros and cons. Okay,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
so I
here
can
we
say.
go. Yeah, give us some cons. I'm hearing way too many pros.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
Give
wrong
us some
with this.
cons.
Okay, okay.
We're
This
going
is
to
from
sleep in the
sleepadvisor.org. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Plus, lower temperatures help with melatonin production and better sleep quality. This is why you feel well rested after sleeping in a cold room. Well, this depends on how cold it is. If you stay in a very cold room for too long, your body temperature could lower too much, which can result in hypothermia.
That's it.
No.
And don't even begin.
Okay, are you in the McDonald's freezer sleeping, or are you in your house that's 19 degrees? Okay, like let's be honest, you're not getting hypothermia from 19 degrees outside. Okay, like it's like take a breath.
The biggest con of all, and it affects everybody except Uncle Brando, is shrinkage.
Correct.
Another thing you got to worry about.
Yep.
Not him. You can't shrink a third leg.
That's right.
Listen, the way I look at it
Got a third femur in it.
is if it's already okay, like the difference between 1.2 is negligible to 1.1. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like that's what I look at it, right?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
You know, that's funny.
Man, that's like saying it's not how big it is; it's how you use it.
That's obviously false.
Right. Like
Everyone knows that.
This is people lying to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, sometimes
That's why
it can,
we are so sad when we have small ones.
sometimes it can worsen asthma attacks if you sleep in a too cold
Dude, you
room.
gotta be careful. Don't you got a little tickly asthma sometimes?
I have asthma. Yeah, I do have
Yeah.
asthma.
Oh, there.
Well,
maybe you
come
should
on.
Sleep in a more reasonably temperate room.
I
Probably
just love it so much. Like it's hard to explain.
You get
I
so
get such a
excited.
big
You're so
smile.
passionate.
I
I
get
know.
such a big smile on my face when I talk about sleep because I love sleeping. My whole life, I could just like fall asleep instantly when I hit the pillow.
Like my dad.
Until I started having panic attacks. But like now that that happened, like until the night terrors came. But no, like
To each their own, you know.
Once I became
Everyone
a
has their own
working
journey.
man, I
Yeah.
couldn't sleep at night. No.
Man,
No.
people that can sleep, like my dad's the same way. They can sleep anywhere.
Yeah,
And
I
it's basically, how dare you? Like, sleeping's the hardest thing I can possibly do, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm so grateful that you get that joy because I know what it's like to be on the other side. So it's like I'm always back.
Well,
like, I
I-
hate that you get to sleep, but good for you. And I'm so
I'm
happy you
really
get good sleep.
grateful. For the longest period of time in my life, I had such bad like anxiety that one of my favorite things, like going to bed at night after a long day, right, was such a relaxing thing, and then that was ruined for me when every time I'd close my eyes, I would be like, you know what I mean? I would start having bad anxiety and stuff like that.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were dreaming about us.
And so when I
Never
finally
close your
got out of that
eyes.
stage where I was having panic attacks every night,
Mm-hmm.
and going back to that mentality of, oh, I'm gonna hit the hay, I'm gonna fall asleep within like 3 minutes of my head hitting that pillow or less, and I'm gonna have a great night. It's so beautiful, right? And I'm a heavy sleeper. I love it so much. It's great. I always wake up feeling rested. I got like 6 hours last night, so that was bad on me. But like, I usually get like my full 8 hours. And yeah, I don't know. Also, you want to know something so awesome?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm going off on a
I
huge
love this.
rant.
This is just like
I'm sorry. I'm
dragon
just so
time.
passionate and
Yeah, this
grateful.
is
I'm
great.
just. I just wanted to say I'm very grateful
Aw,
that I have
I'll say it.
those
For
kinds of nights.
sleeping.
And I talk about gratitude all the time, but like that's something I'm very thankful. You know, I go to bed and I don't hear gunshots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Isn't that just like a small thing? When's the last time you went to bed and heard a gunshot?
Well, actually, there was one.
Yeah.
I don't live in a rough area, and it just so happens that there
Yeah.
actually was one by my place. Like it was last year, first one ever though. So I
Right, just
totally
good
know
odds.
what you're
Just
talking
if
about.
you ask
odds.
the average person, like that you
Yeah.
maybe know, have you heard a gunshot in the last year or whatever? I think or like how many times can you recall hearing a gunshot at night in the last whatever? I'm thankful for stuff like that. I don't get woken up to gunshots or crap like that. I have a nice restful sleep. You know, a lot of people in the world can't say that, right? And so
That's
that's
right.
like, right? It's something to be grateful
grateful.
for.
And we wake up to our best friend's face and
Put
our
it right there.
fucking
Yeah,
face.
and
So
sleeping with
sweet.
Finnegan
Yeah.
is so fun.
Dogs, dude.
He's just so big, and so like we'll like cuddle at night, and
And like
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
sync up to, like Maggie's recently like synced up with her new like wake up. So like 8 o'clock in the morning every time. I just get a little, and then I sitting there, and I open my eyes, and she's just not right in my face like Big Earth, but she's sitting there right about here, big smile, being like, outside. And I'm like, okay, get up, let her out, get back in.
And that's the only negative part about sleeping with a dog is because I'll wake up at 4 in the morning and truthfully, I don't even know if Finnegan's doing it, but he'll just be standing on top of me looking at me.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
Like,
he's
it's
a big
time.
dog. He's
Yeah.
40, 45 pounds, however big he is.
Yeah.
And you just wake up, like you can hardly breathe, and he's standing on your chest looking down at you, and his tail's wagging or something.
So
like,
excited to
dude,
start
it's
the day.
3:30 in
dude.
the morning. Like, what are we doing right now?
Partying.
You know what I
It's time
mean?
to party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's hit the hot tub.
right.
Let's go do a felony. Let's do this.
Trunks on. We're
And
gonna
then
go
if
rob a store.
I'll just roll. I'll roll over. I'll roll over. He'll curl into a ball, and it's fine. He'll go back to bed. But it's just
Yeah.
like, man,
Dogs
Oh.
are amazing. Like
I
I,
just-
I tell Marge every single day how grateful I am to have a guardian angel that's got my back all the time. Because as you know, you get so lonely. If you're not living with people, if you're used to living with people, then it's like you get those downs, and then your dog's just right there, like, no, not on my watch, but a head right on your leg. It's like, oh, thank you.
Or they do
Forget all
something
this
really
stuff.
annoying, like they'll chew something, or they'll like pee by the door.
Scratch the door while you're doing a live
Scratch
show.
the door, 'cause
Yeah.
they're like, listen here, you.
Yeah. We are important.
It could be way worse.
That's right.
It could be way worse, and I'm going to show you that it could be worse.
Just so you know.
And I'm like, listen, why are you like this?
Why do you do these
You
things?
damn dog.
Oh.
I love Big Earth. She's amazing.
Yeah, we are
Pets are
very,
good.
very lucky, very blessed. Again, hanging out the Friday edition of your show. We got the round table going on, starring one half of the viewing room and one half of the CCO, the full meal deal of the CCO, BBO with CCO, BBO on the CCO ITC.
Got it. You got it. You got it.
nailed it.
No,
It's-
that was bad.
You said all
Our
the
new
words right,
episode.
though.
Our new episode did well.
What was it?
It was Spaceballs.
It was so good. LB did
Adam did
the
a great
intro.
job.
It was so fantastic.
I
If you
wish
want to
we could
reach
play
us
it
with any
right now.
ideas or, again, pictures of your animals or anything else, contact at dufferinav.com. That's the email. Or you can hit the website. Just as good, dufferinav.com. On our last little stretch here before we call it a week, Uncle Brando, this one's for you.
Oh, me.
Monday Night Raw has turned over a new page, and they are now on Netflix. And because of that, I have not been able to watch wrestling because I don't have Netflix. Have you, Uncle Brando, seen any of the new Monday Night Raw on Netflix?
Actually, I have not. But with the move to Netflix, they did move a lot of the back catalog.
Kind of like the old network,
like
right?
the old live events and
Yes.
stuff. They're
Okay.
all available on there. So I
Which is very
actually
cool.
have been going back and watching a bunch of old wrestling. Because
Which you love to do.
the network was great when we
Yes.
had it, but it didn't. It was impenetrable when you tried to find something specific. It was really hard.
Yeah.
But Netflix has like a much better, I should say, not good, but search function where you can actually find things and they're listed together in order.
And it
Not-
works.
right? And it works all the time. So actually, I've been going back and I watched the era of classic WWE, or F at the time, when Jake the Snake and Macho Man were feuding,
Oh,
and
the bite.
and Jake brings the Cobra, like real live King Cobra.
Damien.
It wasn't Damien.
It wasn't
It
Damien?
was a King Cobra, like an actual Cobra
He
snake
upgraded for the
that,
match.
that had been devenomized and stuff, so it couldn't kill anybody. But it they tied Macho in the ropes and it bit him. The snake bit him on the arm, for real, for a shoot, if you will. And then Jake couldn't get him off. So like live
Barbed
TV, there's this guy with this snake just latched onto his arm, doing and they're trying to like he's hitting it, trying to get it to come off and stuff. And like that feud was so intense because like the Macho Man was this insane character that's right, and he's just like at 100 all the time. And then Jake the Snake at the time was this like cool, calculating villain who like right in front of Macho Man, he slapped his wife. Holy shit! It's intense stuff, man. Like going back and watching some of that, it's
And
like
that
oh,
one, that moment. See, this was wrestling, Dragon. This is a good lesson for you. The lead up to that, and doing a little curtain jerk here. Literally, Macho was like, "Are you sure, brother? Like, you got the venom out, right? Like, this is gonna work." And he was like so scared of this snake, and they had to talk him into it, being like, "Dude, it'll be fine. There's no venom. He's just gonna give you a little nibble, and then we'll go from there." So he was so horrified of what happening
yes,
before it.
was
So
exactly what he was
everything that
afraid
could have went wrong for him is he was like, oh, like traumatized. Like, it was like a big deal.
At least they actually devenomized the snake. That's
the
important,
good part,
right?
yeah.
That's important. That's very good. It is.
Man.
So I have been watching lots of that, and honestly, it might even be worth it for you to invest in some little Netflix action. I know you hate it, and I get it, but man, it's
not even I hate it. It's just when anytime I'm around it, I spend 2 hours. Like, I'm the classic mark for just, you keep going through everything, don't find anything, then go back to something you already watched because there's too many options. I can't handle that many options. So I'm just like, it's not even for me. I was like, get me out of there.
Oh, I guess that's,
You know?
it's fair, but it's there and it's good. I like it lots.
Yeah.
It's very, and I mean, cinema in one take with live stunts. It's fun to watch.
Very
It's-
cool.
It's very cool.
Very,
There's a lot
very
there to
cool.
find. Yeah.
So I guess I was going to get you to let us know how it's going over there with the live show, but I imagine that's going good as well as we're getting ready for Royal Rumble season.
Yeah, that's coming up right away. Actually,
That's the only wrestling I'd love to watch for like every year is your Mania and your Rumble. I guess it'd be your Rumble then your Mania.
yes, but I think
But still.
is that this? It's not tomorrow.
No, it's got to be a couple weeks still. It's usually at the start of February. End of January, start of
Yeah,
February.
so it'll be in a couple of weekends.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get you over weekend because I have Netflix now, so you can come over. You can meet Vigors and we can hang out.
I love that. I love when you
Nice.
invite me places
We have a couch
with a
that-
spring
with
in
a
it.
spring, but that's it. The spring is out where I
I could
sit,
use a Cairo adjust
so
anyway.
I just,
So
as long as
maybe
you don't
that's what I
sleep
do.
on it, you'll be okay.
This is good. Have you seen any AEW at all?
A little bit of it. I
I just want to get some rest and talk to
I'm just
finish
I'm,
off the show here. 'Cause
I
haven't
don't
checked
think
in a
I'm
while.
I don't think I'm the audience for AEW. I don't think I am because it's
I feel like a lot of people aren't now. That's why I ask.
Yeah,
it's on, sort of on the way down.
it's
after it
kind
came
of
in hot.
very samey now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've kind of seen all the big flips.
very
and
good
the-
point.
Right? And
Yeah.
it like I know what I saw a thing on Twitter the other day where they showed CM Punk versus Seth Rollins from I think it was the first Monday Night Raw on
Yeah.
Netflix,
Yeah.
where they did like the GTS and then Rollins stumbles around and then they compared that to the match that CM Punk did with Moxley in AEW where they did the exact same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see, he's a terrible wrestler. He's awful. This is the worst. And it's like, man, so many like Young Bucks matches and Lucha Brothers matches and Kenny Omega
All your
matches.
biggest names, yeah.
Ricochet, like lots of these guys who are these premium athletes who are amazing to watch, have these spots that they go back to, and every match kind of starts feeling the same.
Yep.
And there's so much of that going on in AEW, it's hard for me to kind of get behind it. Because I feel like nobody's ever in jeopardy of being hurt because somebody takes a 1080 headbutt pile driver onto the stairs while they're on fire, and then they kick out at one.
Perfect example for you. On the last Dynamite, they had, and it's so sad because like John Moxley is my least favorite wrestler in the history of wrestling.
Oh, wow.
Like I cannot get behind that dude in any way. Dean Ambrose, call him whatever you want. He's a piece of garbage wrestler to me. I hate how he does. He walks around like this, like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy. Oh, I'm bad." And then he goes, "Hey, watch this. I got a skewer stuck in my head. Oh, look at that. I'm hardcore." Literally, he had like a bunch of like skewers that you used to barbecue stuck in the top of his head, and he thought that was like badass. And the guy, every single match he's in, he bleeds. He thinks it's important to bleed. Like he's just the biggest piece of garbage that's ever existed in wrestling. And he's the champ. So they got the belt on him. He's got the strap, and he's taking on Powerhouse Hobbs, who's this new guy they're trying to push. He's a big dude.
Good. He's good at wrestling, too.
Big guy, good at wrestling. Powerhouse Hobbs goes top rope, puts old Mox on his shoulders, like think like Lex Luthor,
Yeah,
like the torture rack,
yeah.
and he literally jumps, turns, and drops. It's like a Samoa drop off the top, like one of the coolest moves I've ever seen.
Okay.
So cool. And instead of Mox dying, which is what should have happened, he just rolls over and puts him into like a submission move. And I'm like, this is why Mox is the worst ever. Right there. The no selling in AEW is out of hand. Everything about it. And then their champion's a piece of garbage. It's just, ugh. I can't handle it. So I just wanted to vent that a little bit. Ricochet, though, is hilarious as a new heel. He wears these weird glasses now when he comes out and he like chirps
says
everyone.
weird stuff.
Yeah, it's very funny.
It's crazy. You know, John Moxley's wife,
Oh, Renee Paquette.
Renee
The
Paquette.
best. I've never, that's another great point.
Yeah.
Renee's my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
So it's my favorite of all time married to the worst of all time. Like, where do I land? Where do I go with that?
I thought that she was so valuable to wrestling
Mhm.
overall.
Canadian, by the way. Canadian gal.
Before she even started actively working at the company, like she was on TSN or whatever,
Yeah.
doing the kind of intros and outros to the shows, and like you could just tell that she loved wrestling so much, and she was such a huge fan, and she was so passionate about
Mhm.
it, and her excitement
100%.
I know that it was infectious to people watching it because it got me excited about a product that at the time wasn't very good.
Me too.
And it's just, I'm glad that she stuck with it. I'm kind of sad that she's not maybe being used to her full potential in AEW, but I think that she's great. I think she's one of the best backstage.
I'm with you, 1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's right there with Mean Gene for me. I really like her.
Oh, I love Mean Gene.
Nobody will ever top Mean. Do you know Mean Gene
best.
Okerlund?
No, I don't watch a lot of theirs.
Listen here, Mean Gene.
I don't know. I've always been interested in trying to start watching it, but then I would see it on TV sometimes, like
You know what you
WWE,
need?
and I just like it never really interests me. Like I wanted to watch it's hard to say. It's like not that I don't think it's cool or anything like that, because I think what those guys do and girls is just it's incredible. It's like it's awesome, and the fact that they do stunts like that live with no second takes, it's cool. It's very respectable, awesome. It's just when I watch it, I'm kind of like, okay, it's a little just too. It's just not my speed. It's like I laugh too much. Like it's like I just can't take it seriously. And
What
maybe
you needed, this is it, and I'll tell you right now, because this is what it comes down to. You needed to grow up in a household where your dad said you cannot watch wrestling.
Yep.
That's what gets you into like, well, why can't I watch it? What's the big deal about this? And then, oh my God, then all of a sudden you're, hiding that you're watching Saturday Night main event from your dad. And then, of course, dad comes around eventually once you're older and says, oh, who's wrestling there? And then he gets into it too because it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it had to be this taboo thing for you to really get that passion.
Well, yeah, and I think it's cool, and I think it's respectable. Like a lot of the stuff that they do is like, wow, like
It's very
it's
cool.
it's like the people who do it consider it an art, and people who are really into it consider it art. And I never was able to get into it because I just like I can't. Like I don't know what it is. I just like I watched them. Like I can't.
You
do
have
this.
to
It's
be
not as
able
entertaining.
to suspend belief. You have to be able to be immersed in.
Yeah.
All it comes down to is it's a soap opera for dudes and women, whoever likes soap opera, and it's a soap opera with stuntmen and stunt women doing insane stuff in between their crazy storylines.
Yeah, and I
When you
think
really
that's
break
I
it
think
down.
that's really cool. I remember I forget what it was. I saw it live on TV when I was younger, and I forget who it was. He pulled this dude out of a car and started like beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
On like the side of
be
the road
anybody.
or like a freeway or something like that. Maybe he was like in a tunnel or something. I forget exactly where he was.
Big Boss Man rode a hearse out of a graveyard once.
And
Whose hearse was that? A Taker or Taker?
No, Big Boss Man drove the hearse and then hooked it up to Big Show's dad's
was it,
coffin
yes.
on the day that they were going to lower it into the grave, and stole Big Show's dead father. And
Big
Big
Show
Show was,
jumped on the
coffin, was riding it.
ripping him around.
It was awesome.
yeah,
That's when
and
wrestling
so,
is at its best.
And so like yeah, like I don't know. It's I find it like entertaining, like the stuff that like that. It's entertaining, but I don't personally like want to watch it. Like
a great way of
is that a fair thing to say? Like,
Absolutely
Like
it is.
it's not my speed, but I get why other people like it. And no hate or disrespect. I think it's
like
cool,
me with horror movies.
And yeah,
Same
sure.
thing, yeah.
I think it's cool and respectable. I don't think it's like for dumb people or something like that. I think it's just not.
As
It's
he
not.
looks at us.
It's
yeah.
it's not
Feeling the
for it's not
judgment.
for me. But like if someone was like, hey, sit down and watch this with me, I wouldn't say no either.
You'll
Right?
come
Like,
watch
it's
with
just
us.
like-
That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
All right, boys. This has been one heck of it. Can you believe we're done already?
That went
unbelievable.
by
Yeah.
really quickly.
Yeah, it always does. I got the outro right here. I'm going to go for it. It's not on. It's going though. It is running. I just don't have it. I got the transmitter on. It just might not be.
And now
mic'd
he's
up.
leaving.
Yeah,
Am
what
I
the
the
heck?
only one that stayed
Should we
for the
just
whole
leave?
show? Like,
We're going to see how much time we got on this. Episode.
is that
We
how
got so
it
many
is?
people to thank. Yeah, I just don't got her coming through.
Live television.
The only thing is, it's our timer. It's really hard to remember. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
We'll make it fun.
We'll make it just fine. I'll get out here right away. Thank you to our very, very special guests that came through today, everybody. Kelly, as well as Rusty Trump Jones. Coolest dude ever. Both of them amazing guys. Thank you to Brooksy stopping by. Didn't come on the air, but she dropped off some mics for us. But you don't trust me? I turned it on? Okay. To LB, who was in here earlier, getting us set up as we did some taping on the Modern set. Network Ryan as well, hanging out here. To Finnegan that stopped by, hanging out with Maggie. Thank you so much. They always love playing together, and we appreciate that. Over the week, CTV's Matt Young was here. We had Curtis Anderson along with Coach Comma 2 and Coach number 1 with the All the Way Around Table on Wednesday. Tuesday, the All That Angst podcast boys stopping by. Always love seeing them. And Emily May, our good buddy, was back in the house yesterday, so it was so good to see her. And everyone else And we love you so, so much. We'll be back on Monday at 4 p.m. Until that time, please remember karma is very, very, very real. Keep doing those good things, and they'll start happening to you, and that's how we make this world a better place. All right? And have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Enjoy yourself. And we will miss you until we return again on Monday.
Bye, everyone.
I don't know where we're at. Let's just call it. That's a show right
This is
there,
so
baby.
good.
He's even